Yesterday we're gonna wire a stack mounted relay, which is basically two relays placed on the stack. What is a stack? It's a flue pipe. It's an old thing that has been used to activate your boiler, your burner here. Keep mixing those up. You can activate that using a stack relay. It's no longer the code because it takes too long, but technology is still there. You'll still have a stack mounted relay, but not for the burner. It's to, you put in the duct system, to open and close the damper, it's still there. So wiring it's a little bit, it's still important. So it replaces the CAD cell control. So you're not going to use a CAD cell control or primary control. Good? Yeah. So it senses heat, it is to reply it using a bimetal. So could expand and contract. Some of them come as spiral, has more metal, you'll see it when you have a furnace. Safety timing for stack one is around 90 seconds. So you turn on the boiler and wait 90 seconds with the flame, then it will go on safety, which is a little bit too long. It used to be double the CAD cell. The CAD cell was 45 seconds 3 years ago. Now it's 15 seconds. Because we have a technology, we can do that now. So it's probably like now 6 times. 6 times? No, 4 times. 4 times the actual power. 6 times. Location, where does it go? Stack. It's in the stack in the flue pipe. So you stick it in there, make sure it's secure, and it expands and proof flame. They are still in operation for old models. So if you go to somebody's house and they have a stack relay, you can replace it with the same exact one. But hopefully you'll try to convince them to use a primary control. The primary is not that expensive. And probably if you are going to replace that with the primary, make sure you have all the information. Because this one has ignition, an oil valve, and a transformer. Some old ones have only one wire that goes to both ignition and motor and valve at the same time. So if you go to branch out and use a primary, make sure you know how to disable some of those functions. So for example, this primary, if you do not have an oil valve, it might not function. But you can go inside the options and disable the oil valve. So if the oil valve does not get a feedback, this will not engage. So you can go there and disable that. This is not to be used for temperature over 1,000 to melt or dysfunction or break. So what is the temperature for stack usually?
450.
That's what you want it to be. What could it be maximum?
670.
Yeah, 670. That's the maximum. If let's say there's no heat being sucked into the boiler at all, it's gonna come out towards 670. So we'll still have some margin of safety. They're being phased out slowly because we don't want to use that. It's taking a little bit too long and it's not practical. Okay, this is what it looks like. It has a relay in it. 4 connections. They are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. Thermostat. The other side. 1 relay for the ignition and 1 relay for the track for the. And this tab goes inside the flue pipe and it has to be secured. This is the safety button for the reset. So if it goes to safety, you have to reset this one, but it also has a timer. This lever here, you pull back to put it in step, meaning to put this in the right distance. Because again, metals goes back and forth a lot, sometimes it gets stuck. So you pull it and you let go. And also this you can open and clean with a brush and oil. So this is what it looks like. You see here, the hotline will only go to the stack relay. The high limit switch is your limit switches inside on the board. So hotline will go through the switches, come to only here. The stack relay will control the oil valve, the motor, and the ignition. And this is the thermostat. The dashed line means what?
Optional.
It's optional. If it's there, it's gonna go into the red. Otherwise, it's gonna stick with the B and W. And here, it's also optional. If you have an oil valve, if you don't, or if the ignition is together. So 5 is optional, but now we have 4 for the ignition, 3 going to both burner and oil valve together to make fire, and 2 is neutral, and it's connected to everything coming out of these components. So to make things easier, if you look at it without the inside, it's really like set 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have to connect 7 terminals. Not that bad, right?
Is this an old generation or?
Yeah, very old. But it's still in practice. You'll see it. It's still working, it's still there. People do an upgrade, it's functioning, it's fine. So it's good to have exposure to it, yeah.
Which one's better, primary or?
Primary is the code. It's fast acting, more functional. But if you see this, it should not be a shock to you. And again, this technology totally is still used, but not for this, for different application, but still does the same thing. It has a relay. So from what we did so far, we use relay for what? For control, right? So you get an input, a relay will decide whether it goes on or off, and it controls other circuit. Again, set control here. Thermostat. So the thermostat call for heat. Ignition, oil valve and burner starts. Safety switch start heating. Expand, you'll see it expand. Bimetal expand. Contact closes the controller. Ignition should stop after you prove the heat, guys. Then, once you have heat is activated, it will run the motor and the valve and keep running until the heat is satisfied. These are the sequence of operation. So in the lab sheet, you'll see some things I want you to experiment. Once you wire it, it shouldn't be that complicated. Once you wire it, I want you to go and find those timings, and that will help you realize why we don't use those anymore. So, if the flame is not established and there's no heat, usually there's 70 seconds average. In average, usually between 90 to 75 seconds, you can go and time that, and the system will lock out, and you have to be reset.
Hey, can you go
Yeah.
back to the previous slide?
Good. So 75 seconds, sometimes 90 seconds, so go and measure and see how much is the safety lockout. That means turn it on and just don't heat the bimetal and see what happens. How long will it take for it to go to safety? There's a mechanical timer over there. So simulate a flame failure, turn it on, then turn on the flame and see what happens. How long will it take to respond? Simulate ignition failure, mean there's no flame. Ignition comes on, no flame, and see how well the stack relay. Power failure, how are you gonna do that? Turn on another switch and see what happens. Scavenger timing is how much time will it take for it to reset? After you do power failure, does it start again right away, or does it take some time? Some of them start within a second, some of them take like around 15 to 60
So you're
seconds.
saying that each, is it the stacking module? They're all different?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why when you replace one of them, get one with the same exact model and same specification.
So is that another concern, that there's no like uniformity or there's no standard?
It's not the code anymore. We're done with it. But if you have it, you can replace it with the same.
It's the same.
Fill it. So, if it doesn't work, jump on the thermostat. If it works, that means the thermostat is bad, or it's not functioning. Didn't work. Contact should be clean. Again, it's exposed to heat, it's very close to heat, so probably it's gonna have a lot of buildup. Make sure its contacts are clean. You can also energize it and touch the contact with an insulated screwdriver and see if it's actually either making contact or not. Jumper both thermostat and normally closed contacts, see if it cleans or not, otherwise that means the contact for bimetal is bad. The bimetal has 2 screws, you can take it out and replace it. This is inside the fire, so over time it will lose flexibility and you heat it up. jumper both thermostat and RP terminals and the oil primary. And if it starts, that means the panel is bad. It's not working at all, so you have to change it. Otherwise, replace the whole primary control. I think they go between like $30 and $50, which $70 can get you another good primary control for that application. Okay, here's a YouTube for a channel for the gray furnace guy, which actually is a dedicated HVAC technician, has really, really good videos. Check him out. I learned a lot from that guy, and he keeps that in videos all the time. He gives you a lot of good theory and also good practice. Any questions? We will wire that, and next week we'll wire another. We'll do the relay switch again. Try it out. Okay, we're good.